And welcome back to Monday Evening Quarterback. Again, it is Monday, February 3rd, 2025. Again, happy Super Bowl week. So glad to be here with you guys. I can't believe that the season is just about to be over. Um, we wait so long for it, and then when it gets here, it always goes by so quickly. You look up after week one, it's week four, then it's week eight, then you're in the double digit portion of the weeks of the NFL season. And yeah, um, it always goes by so quickly, but it's always so much fun. And we wrap this thing up on Sunday. I'll be talking about the Super Bowl damn near every day this week throughout the radio. But I'll share all that at the end of the episode when I wrap everything up. Um, Kind of to wrap up a little bit of everything, the first portion of the show with, acknowledging Ohio State and them winning the Natty and kind of skimming through a fast recap of the NFL playoffs and how we got to the point that we're at now with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles getting set to meet in the Super Bowl. So here's how my prediction is going to work out. I do this every year. One, I don't say anything until Sunday because I got to keep you guys guessing somehow, some way. I will do a written preview on the site, which is the dailyblitz.blog, but I do not reveal who I have winning. So with that being said, check me out Sunday about an hour or two before the game kicks off. And I will reveal my keys to the game, my X factor, a little bit more analysis, and obviously who I have winning the football game. I've done this every year, always have fun with it. So be on the lookout for that. This upcoming Thursday is NFL Honors Night. This is when we find out who wins all the major awards. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. And why don't we go down the list? Why don't we do some predictions? And I'm also going to put this on the site as well. Let's start with MVP. Now, I feel there are three guys who are very deserving this of this award. Lamar Jackson, and he had the best season of his career. This was the best I've ever seen him look since he's been in the NFL. Saquon Barkley, and I mentioned Saquon, hell of a year. I know Giants fans in the front office are just punching themselves right now because remember, you paid Daniel Jones instead of him. You let Saquon walk. He has the best year of his career. And look at where he is now. And look at where you are. And then Josh Allen. Josh has put together the best season of his career. Who do I think wins the award? I think Josh gets it. I won't be surprised if Lamar got it again because he did win it last year. But I think Josh Allen wins it this year because remember telling somebody during the summer that the Bills lost their two best wide receivers from a year ago in Stephon Diggs. They traded him to Houston, and Gabe Davis left to go play for Jacksonville. The Bills didn't really have a true number one wide receiver, and if we're being realistic here, Khalil Shakir was Buffalo's best receiver in the passing game. He's the one that had the most experience with Josh this year. And The issue with Josh last year was how he turned the ball over. He led the league in interceptions with 18. This year, I don't even think he had double digit interceptions. The Bills were projected to finish in third place. They win the division once again. Josh was the catalyst of an 8-game winning streak. Um, and I know we always talk about these guys having MVP moments. Josh has two of them. He beat an undefeated Kansas City team, and then in December, he beat the Detroit Lions. So he beat the teams who had the top seeds in the NFL playoffs this year. And what's the award called? Most what player? Valuable player. And nobody meant more to their football team this year than Josh Allen. So my prediction, I think Josh Allen wins most valuable player this year. Well deserved. Offensive player of the year, it's Saquon Barkley. He joined the 2,000-yard rushing club. If he didn't do that, I'd be leaning toward Jamar Chase because he did win the Triple Crown. And I think he's only the ninth guy to do it. The Triple Crown for a wide receiver is when you lead the league in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. So those are three major statistical categories. Saquon was just absolutely phenomenal. I've been raving about him this entire show. Where would the Eagles be without him? I love to see him get some MVP votes as well. Winning here is everything, and what a difference. Much better offensive line, much better quarterback, better weapons on the perimeter, and he still put together the best year of his career, and he is in his prime. And look at where he got the Eagles to the Super Bowl, the NFC champions once again. He was everything to this Eagles offense. I remember that regular season game against the Commanders where he just took over the fourth quarter, and then how could I forget what he did to the Rams in both games? The regular season, he had 255 yards rushing, and the postseason, I think he had a little over 200, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Saquon is definitely bringing home Offensive Player of the Year. Coach of the Year. Now, there are a few guys that this could go to, and I've been so back and forth on this. At first I was saying Dan Campbell. Then I was saying Mike Tomlin because I thought this was his best year. With what he did with the Steelers. You could give Nick Sirianni some love, but I think Kevin O'Connell is going to win it, and let me explain why. What he did in Minnesota was nothing short of spectacular. You lose your quarterback at the beginning of the year in J.J. McCarthy. He injured his knee, unfortunately. Sam Darnold's your starter. And each week when you thought the Vikings were going to cool off, they just continued to win football games. Nonetheless, Kevin O'Connell to me is one of the 5 best coaches in the league. The situation that the Vikings were in after losing Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold is a bust, J.J. McCarthy done for the year. Kevin O'Connell worked with what he had and led the Vikings to their most wins since 1998, which was 14. They did go 14-3. No, they didn't win the division. Yes, they started the playoffs on the road. It's Kevin for me. He had just what he did with what he had and everything. I mean, the Vikings were the runner up for the 1 seed in the NFC entering Week 18. Think about it. Um, the Vikings were one of the best on offense. They had a top 10 offense this year, and they had a defense. Um, they had a defense that was opportunistic and led the league in interceptions. Yeah, this definitely is going to Kevin O'Connell. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels. Does anything else really need to be said? I mean, he put together one of the best rookie seasons I've seen from a young quarterback. Um, just absolutely phenomenal. The kind of has that Burrow mentality of some sorts. He just came in, took the reins of the Commanders, and never looked back. And how could you not be impressed with a young kid like that? Excuse me. Um, just phenomenal. Had the Commanders a game away from the Super Bowl, but what he did in the regular season, his moment when he won it was when he threw the 5 touchdown passes against the Eagles in Landover when they snapped the Eagles' 10-game winning streak. Yeah, this is definitely going to Jaden, and I don't think anything else needs to be said. Defensive Player of the Year, Jared Verse, and I think he's going to be that next star for the Los Angeles Rams. Aaron Donald no longer there, but Jared Verse, he led all edge rushers and quarterback pressures. And I mean, he was a tackling machine this year, 4.5 sacks. So he impacted the pocket. And I think everyone thought that the Rams were really gonna take a dip in defense after losing Aaron Donald, but they stayed afloat. Yeah, it was rough early on, but they stayed afloat and kept it moving. Um, so this award is gonna go to Jared for sure. Um, Defensive Player of the Year. This one's wide open, in my opinion. Um, it could go, it could go to. You can make a case for Myles Garrett again. T.J. Watt is always going to have his name in the pot. But this year, I think it's going to go to Patrick Surtain. Um, he was everything for Denver Broncos defense this year. I'm talking about um, the 4 interceptions, returning one for a touchdown, 11 passes defended. His dependability was the defining factor for the Denver Broncos and them making the playoffs for the first time since Super Bowl 50. He's the best corner in the league, and it's not close. Um, he is the key cog for that Denver defense, and he's still young, and he's only going to get better. I still remember when his father played. That's crazy. But now the son is going to bring home some hardware. Patrick Surtain will be named the Defensive Player of the Year. That's my prediction. Um, Comeback Player of the Year is Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe has been. If the Bengals had a much better record, he's the front runner for MVP. Best season of his career since coming into the NFL. What just sucks is, his defense really let him down. And of course, the easy thing to do is to blame the quarterback when things go downhill. But I didn't know Joe played defense. Just saying. Joe injured his wrist last year and comes back this year and pretty much led the league in touchdown passes and a lot of major statistical categories. Yeah, he's a lot. He's a lot to win this award, and I don't think it'll even be close. Um, but those are my predictions. I will be doing a little write up about this on the site on Thursday, so be on the lookout for it. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap the show up. Man, it felt so good to be back. I was solo. Maybe Roddy will be on the finale episode when we wrap everything up. Next week, as always, log on to the site, become a subscriber today, thedailyblitz.blog, enter your email address and everything that you everything that gets posted to the site will come to your email address, to your inbox. Follow us on Twitter at dailyblitz underscore 61. Follow us on Instagram at the Daily Blitz 61. You can follow my personal page, the football analyst underscore 61. Keep up with me on the airways every Monday night and Tuesday night. You can catch me on the Prime, and I am on my way there after this with David on Point, TJ Hopkins, Israel Rivera, and Matt James. Wednesdays, you can catch me on the betting window with Ronnie Kumpf, John Danzo, Ryan Shaw. Fridays, college football showdown with Israel Rivera and Matt James on Prime Sports World. And I will be on pretty much every day this week. It's about to get real. Had the little week off before, but I am so ready to get back and talk the game that I love so very much. As always, I am with shout outs. Huge shout out to my family, my parents, my mother and father, who I love so very much. I would not be here if it weren't for you, my little sister, Taylor. I love her daily, pun intended. My son, better known as my dog, Siebes. No, he's not around me, but it's all love at the end of the day. My other siblings, Sean, Janice, Tanisha, Daphne, Brandon, Keith. Thank you guys so much for all you do for your boy. Some other people I'm close with: Robert Butler, Jason Tyree, Candace Carter, Kimmel Fryer, Rob Carter, and no, Candace and Rob are not related. Just want to throw that out there. Mike Griffin, Alex Bennett, Velo, Corey Harris, Deshaun Elliott, Josh, Diana, their three beautiful daughters, Tiffany, Natalie, and Madison. I hope you're doing well. That is coming from Mr. Christian himself, Kevin Cooper. Make sure you go check out his blog, which is the Catch Dot blog. If you love all things baseball, he's got you covered. His wife, Lynn, their beautiful daughter, Evelyn, who we commonly refer to as Evie. Cole Johnson, better known as Coach, our moderator, D, and just everybody who has been a supporter this last season and even from the get-go. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode just as much as I have fun recording this episode. And I also want to know who you have winning Super Bowl 59, excuse me. Who you have winning Super Bowl 59. Leave it in the comments when I post it on social media. I will see you guys next week. I'm off to go do the Prime. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Have a great rest of the week and enjoy the Super Bowl.